What would be your best definition of what is considered wrong face?
Like switching them up, like the way you act at home, you would act at church.
Mm-hmm. It literally means presenting the wrong face. Or, so you mix them up, or it could mean being outed. The example that I like to use of this is, I love my best friend, but I was at my wedding and most people now see me as a very mature, like doesn't get caught up in the fads kind of person. Mm-hmm. And she talked about when we went to Forks, Washington and like stalked the Twilight tour. And I was like, oh, that is not the face I'm trying to portray here.
Yeah.
She showed my wrong face. I may reminisce about those things when I'm with her in a more comfortable setting, but in front of all of my closest family and friends in a very private and what was supposed to be a romantic setting, I was outed. She showed my wrong face. Does that make sense? That's kind of a funny example.
She kind of showed the wrong face at the wrong setting?
At the wrong time. Wrong face doesn't necessarily mean that it isn't one of our faces. It just means not at the right time.
Not the right time, okay.
Okay? So the example, another example would be like you said, behaving at church as you would at home. Or I really like the example that your teacher gave in which it's like you're in a job interview and you're trying to be all professional and then all of a sudden you let a curse word slip. Like that doesn't fit in with your professional face.
Yeah.
So you can either mix them up yourselves or somebody else can out you. And I just realized I have video on film that I used to like Twilight. But, you know, whatever. Okay, so what does it mean to be out of face?
You're confused on the situation and how you should act. Like you're confused on the situation, like.
I'll paraphrase?
Yeah. You are unfamiliar with the situation and don't have the words or actions to present. Example, it's your first Sunday teaching nursery. You like the children and want to do a good job, but you have never worked with toddlers. They start all crying as soon as their parents leave. You have no idea what to do or say. So it's kind of like you're forced into a new situation kind of thing?
Yes, exactly. So if we haven't been in a situation before, like what if you had never been to a party where it was all dancing and strobe lights? It might kind of freak you out.
Yeah.
But, or same thing, if you haven't been a Sunday school nursery teacher, Sunday school is a lot different in nursery than it is for adults.
Mm-hmm.
So we would have, it's unfamiliar to us, so it's harder for us to form a face. Think of out of face literally meaning you're out of faces to put on. You don't know which one to put on because you don't have a face for that situation yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try to think of another example for that. Do you think you can give me one? Pick any new situation. All right, how about
Going to like a new country.
Okay, perfect. Going to a new country. We are pretty dang familiar with American culture and all the society norms and things like that. But if you went to Pakistan, those norms don't work anymore. They're very different. So you're going to a new culture, you realize you don't know anything, so new culture, new country. You're out of face, meaning what?
I mean, you don't know how to greet them, or
Yeah.
just have a way to act the way they act. Because you might want to shake their hand, and that could be really disrespectful.
That exactly. If we don't have a face, we don't know how to interact.
So you kind of like, or you're in your own little bubble, freaking out.
And you like try to figure out what's happening so
Yeah.
that you can adapt as soon as possible. Yeah. So if we can't interact, then there is no society. All society is a bunch of people interacting.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So then what is Facework?
I have no idea.
Okay.
The actions that people take when the lines don't match up with the face. The actions can be taken by the person who made the mistake as well by the other people taking part in the social interaction.
So we try to read each other's faces, and like they could read my face totally wrong from what I'm trying to portray.
Exactly. We might do face work as a result of either, oops, we presented the wrong face, we need to figure out how to get the right face, or we're totally unfamiliar, so we need to watch them because we're out of face. We need a new face.
So it's like almost mimicking, kind of.
Almost, yeah. It's like creating or changing faces. That is face work. When we're doing homework, we're doing homework, right? So
Yeah.
when we're doing face work, we're doing faces.
Okay.
All right.
So like, creating and changing faces.
So if it was you're out of face, like you're in this new country and you don't know what to do, your face work is going to be watching how the people greet around you so that you know how to greet.
Okay.
If the example is wrong face, like, oh, I'm in this job interview and I just cursed, I'm gonna figure out a way to pull it back in real quick.
Okay.
I'm not gonna let that continue being a part of my face.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, any questions on faces or lines?
No.
Okay.